Can
my apologies.
Can you hear and see now, whoever is on the line?
Can you just, if you can hear us, just give us a thumbs up?
Great.
Okay.
So I think one response is enough. Thank you, guys. Super helpful. So let's do it again. I'm Sarai Kemp. Thank you for joining the BARD webinar on our new program, the Food Security Technology Accelerator Pilot Program. Good morning to the ones joining from the USA, and good afternoon to the ones joining from Israel. The agenda for today is Dr. Shlomo Wald is going to briefly introduce BARD and our activity, and then I'm going to go into details and all the technicality and specification of the program. By the end of the session, we're going to have time for Q&A. During the webinar, you're more than welcome to type in your questions on the chat box, and we do our best effort to answer all, if not most of them. So Dr. Shlomo Wald, please take the stage again.
Okay, welcome everyone. I want to say a few words about BARD. It is a binational US-Israeli binational agriculture research and development fund established about 50 years ago, and it works on a endowment of $100 million that was deposited by the governments of the United States and the government of Israel. And since the time we have been working, we supported more than 1,500 research projects. So maybe move to the next slide. Can you move to the next slide? Okay. More than 1,500 research projects, and the outcome, it is extremely successful fund, since each dollar we put in the academia for R&D brought us income to the economy of Israel and the United States of $16 for each dollar invested in the academy. The problem we face, move to the next slide because I want to make it shorter. The problem we faced is that about 10 years ago, we realized that many good innovative ideas were neglected and not put forward to the industry. And the second thing, that the time gap between the completion of the academic work till it was implemented in the industry was about 15 years in the average. And this is a very long gap. And what we realize is that the reason for it is that to bring industry in connection with the academia in early stage of the research is very complex and very and not so simple. So we decided to build new platforms for incorporating industries and academia together from day one, in order to make them become more acquainted with what is running and what is the research idea is, and accomplish the implementation of these ideas much faster compared to the other platforms that supports academic grants. And this is our vision, and we tried to use several platforms that incorporate industries with academia. And just now we announce and we promote a new platform. We think that it is extremely promising method how to really involve academia and industry from day one, from Israel and the United States together to accomplish the strategy of both countries as soon as possible. And I think that this is enough for introduction, because the Accelerator program is much more important, and Let me ask Sarai to take over and continue with the explanation. Please.
Thank you, Shlomo. So let's dive in and start from the beginning. So we are talking about a new grant to foster collaboration between academia and industry and between US and Israeli partnership, meaning only companies that are registered legally either in the United States and or in Israel are eligible to apply. We're going to provide a $1 million grant for 2 years plus 1 year of implementation. Details as we move forward, I'll explain everything. Focus on technology readiness level of 3 to 6 with matching funds from the industry partner. And we'll discuss that as well. 2 dates to mark on your calendars. The first one is the pre-proposal deadline. It's March 31st. And then the next one, if you are chosen to move on to the next phase, then the full proposal deadline will be June 25th. This is the high level of the application timeline. We are here where the stage where we encourage you to form your consortium and then to do the pre-proposal submission. By April 13, we would be giving you the answers of what we call go, no go. If you pass the pre-selection committee and then you are invited to submit your full proposal, then you're going to have about 60 plus days to prepare the full application and submit it by June 25. BARD will have roughly 2 months to assess the proposal with an expert selection committee, a high governance committee, and the final decision will be given by BARD Board of Directors by August 27. Within a few days of that date, we're planning to sign the finding agreement between us and you guys, selecting teams, the winning teams, and then you can start immediately working on your project. Regarding eligibility, I discussed it previously, but let's dive in. So we're talking about projects that must involve collaboration between academia, industry, Israel, and the USA. Technology readiness level 3 to 6. We're looking to the teams to demonstrate significant technological innovation. The activity coverage will be on the R&D task and on some of the tasks regarding commercialization and taking the product into the marketplace. And we're also looking for the different partners to share risk and share reward in a structured way and to show that during the application. We decided that we want to focus on this pilot on 3 topics, like climate resilience, crop and animal health, and AI-powered precision farming. Your application must meet at least one of those topics. If you meet more than one, great. Just explain to us during the applications. About the consortium. We are targeting a consortium of at least 4 partners, 4 members. 2 from the academia, or at least 1 from the USA, at least 1 from Israel, and the same from the industry partners, at least 1 from Israel, and 1 from the USA. We will accept applications with only 1 industry partner in cases where the industry partner can demonstrate significant commercial capabilities into taking the product or the innovation into the marketplace. For instance, multinational companies with different subsidiaries. What do we mean by academic partner and industry partner? So academic partner is quite straightforward. It's exactly the same as any other previous BARD grants. This is the definition. Everything is in the guidebook. For industry partners, we try to extend it as much as possible. So above the obvious, which means startups, small and medium enterprises, corporates, multinationals, and so forth, either registered in Israel and or the United States, we also extended it into cooperatives such as farming cooperatives, farmers association, food associations, any commercial body that can help take your product innovation into the marketplace. About the pre-proposal. So the deadline, as we mentioned, is March 23rd. We are asking you to provide a high-level document of no longer than 7 pages. And the selection committee will assess your eligibility based on the criteria that I just shared with you. And then if you pass the selection committee, that will examine also your high-level application according to different parameters, which I'll show you later on. Then you will be invited to submit your full proposal. Just one comment regarding the submission process. So beside the 7 pages document in a PDF format, we are asking you to provide also a consortium memorandum of understanding. This is a non-binding high-level document. We just want to see that you assembled your consortium partners to as much as you can at this stage, and that you've identified the different tasks and responsibilities between the different partners. We don't expect to see full agreement on the commercial terms. This will be needed if you are invited to submit the full proposal. So we are giving you some time to arrange the consortium, but you don't have to have everything set in stone at this stage. We understand it takes time, and so this is part of the reason why we're doing the pre-proposal. Now let's dive into the grant. So we're talking about a grant that can be distributed between the industry partners and the academic partners. 100% of the grant can go to the academic partners. Only up to 50% can go to the industry partners. BARD pays advance payments for each milestone budget directly to each partner. So when you upload your budget in the full proposal, you have to mention which partner is responsible for that budget under each milestone, and that partner will receive his part of the budget directly to his account, including the industry partner and the academic partner. The first payment is fixed for everybody. It's 10% of the grant, and that will be paid once we start the project, and it will be deducted from the next milestone payment. The following payments based on your milestones that you are submitting are contingent on the approval of the fiscal and technical reports of the previous milestones, which you submit once you complete the milestones. Everybody is asking this. Yes, you may take concurrent funding but it depends on 2 rules that we ask you to apply for. First one is the grant do not fund the same work package or tasks. And in our funding agreement, there's a specific clause describing that you have to declare. And the second one is for the matching funds, they cannot be committed to other grants. For instance, if you have the IIA Israeli Innovation Authority grant, and you need to show matching funds, those matching funds can't be allocated to our grant. So you have to have another set of matching funds. So 90% of the grant is going to be distributed to the different partners during the first and second year. And then we are keeping 10% of the grant to be distributed at the end of the 3rd year, which we call is the implementation plan. Once you provide the reports and you met the milestones that you set forth for specifically the 3rd plan, the implementation. Okay, now to the tricky part. Everybody is asking about that, and we have Dr. Shlomo Wald to thank for this extremely interesting set of rules to determine how much the industry partner will be paying as matching funds. So I'll try to explain it in a very simple manner, but if you still have questions, you feel free to contact Shlomo or I directly. So there are 2 parts that determine the amount that the industry partner or partners cumulatively have to contribute as matching funds. The first one is the fixed industry partner, and this is based on your TRL level. For TRL level number 3, the industry partner needs to be in 10% of the grant. For TRL 4, 17%, TRL 5, 23%, and TRL 6, the maximum 30%. For the second parameter, we're talking about variable industry partner contribution as a percentage of the share of the grant. And here we have an example to illustrate that. The first line is how much an industry partner needs to contribute if he is not taking any money out of the grant, 0. The entire $1 million go to the academic partner. We are at TRL level 3. which means 10%. 10% translate into $100,000. So the total amount of the project is $1 million, $100,000. The industry partner needs to bring $100,000. In the second example, the industry partner is taking part of the grant to itself. $800,000 goes to the academic partner. The remaining $200,000 goes to the industry partner. The TRL level is 3. The fixed remains the same, 10%, which translates into $100,000. Now comes the extra part, and he needs to add into his matching funds additional 15% for each TRL level above 2. So here we have TRL level 3, which is one level above 2, meaning extra 15% out of the grant that he is taking to himself. This is translating into $30,000. So the total project budget is $1 million plus $100,000 plus $30,000. The matching funds from the industry partner is $100,000 and $30,000 in this case. This is a table. Where is the table? This is the table under the guidelines in Appendix B that illustrates all of the different scenarios of, the different distribution of the grant between the industry partners in the different TRL levels that will help you calculate how much the industry partner needs to bring as matching fund. I did forget to mention something very important, so let's go back. Okay. 70% of the declared matching funds can be counted as in-kind contribution. Okay, take a note of that. A bit slow. Okay, about the repayment terms. This is a conditional grant, which means that if the outcome of the project translates into generating revenue to the industry partner or partners, then those partners need to pay back the grant under the following conditions. For companies that have, industry partners that have less than $2 million gross sales, the percentage of annual royalties will be 3%. For all the rest, the annual royalties will be 5%. We are hunting you down for that money only for 10 fiscal years from the first gross sales generation year. From the 11th year onwards, whatever you paid BARD, we're not gonna track you down and take more than that. The grant outcome is defined as a product. That's the legal term. It can also be a service, but we chose product as the legal term. This is the definition that you would have to submit as part of your full proposal. And that definition would also be in an appendix in our CPFA, the funding agreement between BARD and the winning consortium. The budget is defined by milestones that you, the consortium partners, define in advance and upload it into the system only in the full proposal part. We pay in advance for each milestone that you decided to choose. If a milestone is not achieved, then the next milestone payment is withheld. Some key budget guidelines. We do cover personnel and salary. It is capped. There are different figures for Israel and the United States. Everything is in the guidelines. We support academic staff, non-tenured. They may receive salary and benefits up to 50% of the salary. And for industry partners, we support up to 100% of the salary coverage for employees directly involved in the project. Equipment may account for 10 to 30% of the total direct project cost based on your TRA level at the start of the project. Total traveling budget is $40,000 per project, and the overhead is like any other BARD grant. It's 20% of the direct expenses. This is the high-level overview of the project lifecycle. So let's go through it very quickly. So we have the screening, the initial screening for your pre-application, pre-proposal. The selected applications are invited to provide the full proposal. You're going to have 60+ days to do that. During the assessment of the full proposals, the teams would ask to come to have an interview with the selecting committee team and present the proposal in a presentation mode. Then we're going to have the oversight of the committees and the final funding decision by BARD Board of Directors. Once the funding is provided and the project begins, we are looking at reporting technical and fiscal reports based on your milestones, each milestone that you achieve. And we're going to have ongoing monitoring and support. This is the pilot, so we are very open and flexible to amendments as we go along with the projects. How do we evaluate the proposal? These are the same criteria as used for the pre-proposal and for the full proposal. You see that each criteria has a weight. So we have 6 in total. We're going to look at the scientific and technological innovation, about the feasibility of your commercial application, the consortium collaboration, the synergies between the different partners and the different capabilities that each bring to the table. The implementation plan feasibility, what are you planning to do in the 3rd year and what type of milestones you are setting for that. The impact on the call of proposal, on the theme, the 3 different themes that I've shared with you previously, and finally the social and environmental impact. So once we are completed with the 3-year program, we still want to be involved with you guys. So first of all, you have to pay us back. So we have the grant repayment. We're going to have annual fiscal reports where based on that, we're going to track the amount of royalties you can pay back. And we're going to ask for you from time to time some publications and communication on your commercialization or scale-up tracking that we can share on our social media, different reports. We have some previous alumni engagements, so we encourage you to do the same. And again, since this is a pilot, we also encourage you to provide us feedback in hopes that we can improve this program for the next tracks. The important information, basically everything I just said is here in those links. It's under the BARD Food Security Technology Accelerator webpage on BARD's website. So you have a link to the full program guidelines, the pre-proposal guideline, the full proposal guidelines. And at the end, we already shared with you the agreement that we are going to sign if you are the winning team between BARD and the winning team. If you progress to the full proposal, we do encourage you to take a look and ask you also your legal advisors to take a look in the agreement. It's a standard agreement that all parties will have to sign. If you're looking for a partner, feel free to reach out to me. This is my email. We'd be happy to try and find your partner either in Israel or in the USA. We'll do our best to help and support you. Now it's time for questions. So what I think we'll do is, Judith, if you can, please share the main questions, and if we have time, we'll go over all of them. And if not, we'll try to answer you directly via emails.
There are people that raised their hands already.
Okay. Judith, how do you suggest we do that? Do you want to read the questions or let people?
We have the Q&A and we have 2 questions. So now is the time to start posting your questions.
We have 2 of them on the Q&A.
Okay, just a minute.
Judith, there are people that raise their hands.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay, the first question I just saw is how many projects do we anticipate to support? So for the pilot, we're going to provide 2 grants. And once we move forward from the pilot for the next year, we're hoping to do between 6 to 8 projects a year. Hanan has a question. Do you want to ask? I think it's Hanan.
Let's see it. Right in the chat.
He wrote it in the Q&A. Do you have a format for the pre-stage?
For the pre-proposal, if it's for the pre-proposal, then we don't have a format. It's free formatting, but you do need to follow the instructions. For each section, we ask you at a high level to describe what you want to do. So you do need to follow the different sections that we want and the specification on the font size and the amount of pages.
There are instruction, there are headlines of the different sections, and you simply have to fill up each section. And since it is only 7 pages, you have it should be concise and small. Sure.
Yeah.
We have a question here. Will the recording be shared? Yes, the recording will be shared. In the next couple of days, we'll have it up on our website, and I'll also make sure to share it on our social media platforms. So we will be open for you to share with other people if you want to share it.
Okay. As for the academic partners from third countries, since this is a grant that is provided only for either Israeli Institute or USA Institute, we are not able to provide a grant directly to a third country partner, but you can add them as a contributor to the program, but the money won't go directly to them.
Links into the chat here. So some of the links we talked about, you can now see in the chat, the page with the guidelines and the other documents we spoke about.
Okay.
We have a question here about will they be able to start? Is the first payment only in 2027?
No, the first payment is a few days once you get the approval. So we are providing the final answers by August 27, and it's going to take us a few days to prepare the document, the agreement. Once the agreement is signed between us and you guys, the consortium, you can already start the project and get the funding. Kathy is asking who gets the extra between the total project and the 1 million. It's up to you, Kathy. Whoever the consortium partners decide how to distribute the extra, whether it's going to go to one of the industry partners or one of the academic partners, it's really up to you based on your project. Do we have any other questions?
Now's the time to post your question. Is new partnership mandatory?
You have questions in the
Is a
Q&A.
new partnership mandatory, but I'm not sure what this means, Han. Is new partnership mandatory? If it's an existing partnership, I think I understand this question. Is a new partnership mandatory? I think he's asking if there's an existing collaboration already.
If there's an existing collaboration,
That's perfect.
Yeah, it means you can move quicker with the application.
Are there any regarding who qualifies for salaries or budgets? Can PI include their salary?
No, PI cannot. This is similar to any other BARD grant, and the details of that are in the guidebook.
So there are examples. We don't have examples of budgets, but we have all the different components of budgets in the guideline.
Yeah, under the full proposal, you would see a section on budget, and there you have the different sections that you have to fill in to complete your budget. We didn't want to constrain a budget fixed structure because this is based on milestones, and the milestones are determined by you guys, the consortium partners, and not by us.
So I have another question here. What is the preferred commercial partner for the consortium? Can startups submit?
Yes, startup can submit, and we even, did some flexibility in the repayment just to address startups. So if you have a startup and you have less than $2 million, your royalties, for instance, will be lower than any other partner. So yes, startups can apply, but in this case, it would be important that the other industry partner would be a company that maybe is slightly bigger than a startup, doesn't have to be multinational, but that you can show us effect
So I was
partners to take the technology and the innovation into the marketplace.
Yeah.
I have a question here. What is the policy around patents and IP? Will the university hold the
Before that, Shlomo, you wanted to add something?
Yes, I wanted to say that a clever or a promising consortium is the one that includes all the components that can lead the project from research to implementation. And because of that, while doing this is connected also to the IP questions that you have just raised now, is that in the full proposal, you should amend the consortium agreement. And the consortium agreement, you just state what is the role of the partners during the projects and during the implementation phase. So this is very important. We take care that the accelerator will really lead to implementation and not just stop after 2 years and that's all. Another thing is the IP. IP is, first of all, background information, as usual in all consortia handled projects, belong to the one that produced the know-how. But all the know-how accumulated during the project should be decided according to between the partners themselves who will own the IP. We think that usually it's shared between the partners, but maybe sometimes some industrial partners don't request the sharing of the patent, but they request, let us say, a license or exclusive license or something like that, and that can be decided among the partners of the consortia themselves. We leave it open. This is one of the key difference between our accelerator to other accelerator programs that exist in the Israel Innovation Authority or even in the States. We first of all give budget also to industries, because sometimes nowadays some industries bring their own know-how into the project, and they should be working, not just getting the assistance of the academia. They should, again, contribute substantially to the research themselves, and sometimes they need to get budget for doing their work. And this is a major difference, because usually the budget is not going to R&D within the industries, beside if it is a full industry project. The other thing is the payment method. Since we ask that every milestone will demonstrate tangible results, so you are paid not just according to schedule, half a year and 1 year, but you are paid according to the accomplishment of certain achievements in your project. And this is a major difference. It is not going like that in any other richer funds program. So I think that there will be many other questions. Don't hesitate asking. And
can the same academic partner bring forward multiple proposals with different partners, with different commercial partners, or with different
It can. Just remember, this is a competitive grant, so you might have some cannibalism in your project application. Just take that into consideration. There's a few more questions here. So John is asking about the primary awardee entity. So there's no primary awardee entity. All of the consortium partners are considered to be an awardee entity. Each of them receives directly part of the budget that is allocated to him based on the budget that you enter into the system. We only request that it's going to be a principal investigator that I would say is our prime contact person, and maybe allocates or aggregate all the information, make sure that all the data is uploaded into the system for the application and so forth. And maybe once we have any further questions or we'd like to have further information, we reach out to that principal investigator. But each of the consortium partners is considered to be an awardee. Somebody is asking, Yaniv is asking.
This is also a major difference from our program to others.
Yeah.
Can one industry partner be an NGO?
Yes.
Yes.
It can be an NGO. Again, you have to show us that an industry partner has commercial capabilities. Yaniv is asking that the startup commercial side only return royalties up to the amount he received. That's a great question. So in the agreement between BARD and the consortium partners, and the consortium partners to a whole, not just the industry partners, we ask the industry partners specifically to commit to the amount of repayment and this is up to you. Even if one industry partner received half of the budget, and another received another half of the budget, you can decide among yourself who is going to be the one repaying the entire grant. You can divide it half-half based or proportionally based on the amount that you got, or you can decide that one industry partner will repay everything. The only consideration here is that the academic partners are not responsible for repaying the grant, only the commercial partner, and an understanding that at some point you are going to reach a commercial agreement between the academia and the industry, and the one who's going to benefit, from the outcome of the project commercially wise is the industry partner. Somebody is asking, John is asking about, can you define technology readiness 3 to 6? I can. I won't do it here. It's all in the guidelines. So at Appendix A under the guidelines, we have a very detailed table based on NASA, I think. NASA, right? Based on NASA, the description of TRL, we try to choose one that is as diverse and flexible as possible to meet different types of technologies.
How often will reports be needed once the project kicks off?
The project kickoff is once we sign the funding agreement, and it can be days after you get the approval from BARD Board of Directors that you want the grant. It's basically really up to you, the start of the project day. We don't want to extend it too much, but we have some flexibility in that perspective. And the reporting would be based on milestones. So let's say you set under 2 years plan, R&D plan, you set 3 milestones, one after 6 months, one after a year and a half, and another one at the end of the 2 years. Each milestone that you achieved, you have to provide us with the reporting, both the fiscal report of how you spent the money that we provided you, and the technical report describing how you met that specific milestones and all the tasks and work that you've done in order to accomplish that milestone. If those reports are approved by BARD, then we are releasing the payment of the next milestone as defined in advance in a proposal.
I want just to add, the date of commissioning the project is dictated sometimes by your willingness, but sometimes it's dictated by seasons. For example, if you are working on a certain breed or certain crop, that it shouldn't start in the winter, or it should start in the spring or summer. So this is flexible. You will decide about the date of commencing the project. This is one aspect that you want to know. Yes, sorry.
Hi Gal is asking about the type of industry partner. Does it have to be an existing commercial operational abilities or required, or is it preferred, or it can be 2 startups? It can be 2 startups, but again, remember this is a competitive grant. So for instance, if we're going to have an application of a startup and then a multinational or a big corporation or even an NGO that can take the product more actively at a bigger pace, faster pace into the marketplace, on that specific criteria, they're probably going to score higher than just 2 startups. But maybe the 2 startups would score higher on the innovation, right? So it's a mixture of the different criteria that I shared with you. So it's up in the air.
Okay, I think we covered most of the questions we had here. The ones that we didn't have an opportunity to touch on, we will be happy to speak to you offline by email or any way you can get in touch with us. Thank you for joining us today. The recording will be available in the next few days.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.